learned from the lesson. Live in the hills, but I still get a spread. Started with a little, but I still reinvest it. Fear how I feel, then you feel like a blessing. I just want the lesson, I just want protection. I'm up and I'm down, but they sound like progression. Farmer never plans if he waits for perfection. Finger to the down, hold it down, we gon' get it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I got your watch list coming into November 6, 2020, and the stock market loves gridlock. Wall Street is in love with this idea. It is day 2 after the election. The stock market rally has continued, and this idea or rhetoric now that a gridlock in Wall Street with Senate looking like it's going to win and not being a blue wave, and even regardless of the president now, stock market loves it. So we have a lot to talk about. Everything is still going on. The elections. We even heard from Powell today. We talked about it, and even Wall Street itself shows it here. Just let the institutions figure this out. You don't know really what's going to happen, but there is an official voting and counting and announcement mechanism, so keep that in mind. But we will see what happens as far as us stock traders here now, though. It is pretty clear the opportunities are setting up, so we have to talk about that. We had earnings and other crazy plays, so there was a lot. We also had Jerome Powell. So I got the plays, I got the keys, all the plays we made today. I made some big earnings plays as well as some of the plays and continuations we're looking at tomorrow. So let us not delay. You guys know what you need to do. Drop your thumbs up on the video. Make sure you're subscribed. And if you don't know, we are live Monday through Friday, 30 minutes before open. It's the first link in the description and it is pinned in the comments. We better see you there in the morning. It's free $99. It costs you nothing to join. YouTube.com/the stock market. You can post the plays, see the plays, watch the watch list come to life. And yes, if you watch the stock market every day, you are an addict. And if you'd like to see other addict, I mean, well, we're on stream, yeah, and okay, and we love you regardless, no matter what, all of you, amen. And the most important thing you need to do, post your watch below, let us know what you're looking at, got any plays, comments, remixes, anything, post them below and source that info. Shout out to chat, baby. So right off the bat, gridlock is good for Wall Street. This is further confirmed today. Yesterday was 700 points. Today we closed up 500. We actually gapped up and held up a lot better than yesterday. However, the rhetoric is being spread around. I told you this theory yesterday on the watch list. A lot of other people talked about this, even Jim Cramer, CNBC. You're seeing it in a lot of places. There is a lot of people taking this idea that, hey, even though there's not a blue wave, even though there's not President Trump and things are changing regardless, even if you don't know, again, even if Trump is the winner, who knows? Can wait and don't react too soon yet. But it's clear that with some level of gridlock and not this full sweep, it is going to allow for a lot of positivity. It's going to allow for some inflation as well as curbing some other things. Pretty much, it's not going to be too radical. It's balanced, and Wall Street likes this. This reminds me of the last election. Initially, a lot of people thought Donald Trump was going to be awful for the economy when he was elected. Futures dropped. By the morning, it was ripping, and then there was this huge rally, and it was caused by this concept. Day after day, the market was like, well, you have House and you have all this, and then I guess Trump isn't going to be that bad, and then everybody started buying stocks. So that is being spread around, and this idea of pretty much a split House, Senate, presidency, again, not all blue, not all red, whatever, is good for Wall Street, and people like it. So that is what was further confirmed today. We saw it in the industries. We saw it in a bunch of stocks. However, now, the other important event was Powell, and he didn't really say much. So some people were even trying to attribute today to quantitative easing, but he talked about it at the meeting, and he wasn't really hinting at that, more or less just doing other stuff, but it wasn't really Powell driven today. I even brought this up. You know, you guys usually watch us document these Fed meetings. You've seen us trade these live. You've watched the watch list. Usually these moves are a lot bigger. The volume didn't even increase at the release or even during the press conference, so it was pretty interesting to see. But at the end of the day, Powell did not really say much, and we were expecting a move, but nothing was there. So we talked about this on stream. We don't know if it was because of the election or he didn't want to influence the election, or we don't know if the election is influencing him. It was very, very neutral, at least in my opinion. I think this was one of his more neutral meetings. The questions, everything, there was nothing new. There was nothing even special or changed about the release. They kept everything the same, and it does kind of make sense given the situation. You see the election, you could see the confusion, you could call it division, you could see now even with Powell, people are just kind of waiting and seeing. At least though, nothing is tipping in a crazy balance, and that is what Wall Street's liking. That's why things are moving. So it was very, very surprising to see Powell not move the market today, but as far as even tomorrow to close out this week, we will see how we close it. So far, it has been one of the best weeks since April. We are going to get the non-farm payrolls tomorrow. However, it shouldn't shock. Again, we had an outlook even before Powell yesterday. We kind of had an update, an idea. It's kind of the same thing. A lot of the estimates here have only been slightly better, but I don't think we're going to get a shocker surprise. If we did, that would be important, but it's not really looking likely, or that would at least take a few more months. So watch for that tomorrow, but overall, watch now. The final thing, how does the market keep positioning? And I think it's going to keep positioning how it is. The question is going to be velocity or speed. It's getting a little bit fast now on the upside, but the question is, do you really get momentum, or does this kind of turn into a melt up? And we want to still give it some time. 2 days is a decent amount of time. You usually judge things based off of first 7 days and then first 30 days and then 3 months. That's kind of how Wall Street likes to look at metrics. So keep those timelines in line, and that's what I'm going to be looking for in terms of positioning. But tomorrow is going to be Friday. It should be exciting. I hope you're ready, but that is pretty much it. So let us get into the plays. So right off the bat, I have a lot of plays. I'm sure you guys will want to see this one. I did a big Uber play, and this one was kind of unique for 2 reasons. One, because I spent $13,000 on the play, but then also because it is a 3-year play. I grabbed 10 of these $30 calls at 1,350 cents each, spent a total about $13,500, but they expire in January 2023. So I like this play. If you guys have been watching my other videos, the weekend videos, I said this is a growth stock I like. We have Uber in the portfolio. I wanted to wait till Prop 22. They had their earnings today, so I gave it some time. I could have got it at a better price, but I waited to let some of the immediate risks pass over. I had to pay a premium on these, but there was a lot of option premium on Uber, so I decided to grab something pretty much at the money, in the money at the time. So by paying $13.50 for each of these options, and the strike price is $40, my break even is $53.50. It's like buying 1,000 shares of Uber at $53 in the next 2 years. So in a way, this is like me getting a big long-term position, but I'm actually just putting down a down payment and then taking some of that risk in terms of time, or if nothing happens in 2 years. So it allowed me to play earnings. I didn't have to pay too much of a premium because I'm pretty much getting dollar for dollar. The amount that this contract even went up in the last few days with the run-up Prop 22 and all that, it was pretty much dollar for dollar. So it is like owning the stock, and that's why I like that play. I liked Uber's earnings. So that was the first play of the day. That was the earnings one, or actually it was the second play of the day. The other play I got today was GLD. So I talked about this on the other watch list. We brought this up, and we finally got a really good play. And I say so because I reacted in the morning. We started to see gold pop. And remember, I said use this as a signal and wait for it. It's a weird signal in the mix of this. And this is what I mean by watching the positioning now as Wall Street is reacting to everything that's happening. But we caught it early in the morning. I think I got it within a few minutes. Yeah, 8 minutes of market open. I grabbed these November 20th, 196 for 19 cents. So now the thing I don't like about it is I don't have a lot of time. So we are going to have to find a way to play and flip it, hopefully benefit off of something short term. But I will want to either ghetto spread this one, either make it free or hold it for a little bit and then turn it into a longer term play. But this one's a little bit precarious, but it did go up a decent amount. So this is the contract. It closed about 100%, but you could even see in the morning how it moved. But every single one of these gold contracts did the exact same thing. And this is what I was talking about here, because this was a good contract and we finally got one, because it only moved up like 1% at that point. It was already up 1% and you got a big option move. So these were kind of pricing in cheap. And then throughout the day, as the momentum continued, the chain is really pricing in a lot. So even though this is short term, the market is even pricing this in to go about to like 189, if anything. So we're a little far out there. We'll see how it plays out, but I like that play. I finally got a small position. Started off decently sized, $400, but now it's doubled up. So I'm going to be holding those, outline the plan with that. But I like the GLD. And then finally, as far as everything else that I'll be looking for, I don't have these two plays and I want to look for these. It's going to be Friday. There's going to be opportunity, Square and TTD. So Square had earnings, but theirs were really, really expensive. So this one, I wouldn't be surprised tomorrow. Both calls and puts are down. I've been talking about this all week. I said I wanted to get a play. They were expensive then. I didn't get them. It's kind of clear why. We see it. It made a move. So I'm going to watch to pick these up in the morning or see if we could play some sort of continuation. And then TTD. TTD is just up a lot. It's moved a lot. The idea is try to snake some really, really cheap contracts if they're there, but be careful. It's really illiquid and it might not have that much opportunity to be realistic. It's kind of like playing regen in the mornings or after drug approvals. It might be a little bit difficult. So I like that. Those are going to be the main ones I'm going to be watching. As far as everything else, I'm going to watch all of the other earnings and continuations. There was Uber. There was Roku. They had a nice little pop lock and drop it. So I think it's going to be decent because that means a lot of premium is going to get crushed and a lot of stocks, tech, everything moved big. So we want to see how the market reacts. And now with Friday, that is going to adjust premium, and we'll see what happens there. So I'm going to be watching those continuations. Same thing, TrueCar, we have those 1,000 shares. It dropped a little bit. It was up like 9% today. I mean, watch this for a continuation. It is just a very thinly traded stock. So we'll see how that plays out. Watch Square again. Another earnings continuation. There was also EA. They got clapped. I'll watch this one. They're usually expensive. This kind of looks big, but I think this fell in line with expectations. Peloton as well. That'll be a nice one to watch. I usually don't play it, but we'll see. But all of these names are very, very big growth names. So tomorrow, I'm sure one of these might go crazy or have a good continuation opportunity. So watch those. TTD, like we brought up. Big Commerce. I actually forgot about this one. I ended up buying shares. I like that it had earnings, and I like that it was below $100. I grabbed 23 Big Commerce shares at 86.51. We added those to the big long term. So we're already down 1% now after with the earnings, but I really like that play. I thought it was good. It was decent. I didn't bring this up in the long-term video, but they were a lot more volatile and they were up a lot more. So I like that. I'm keeping my eye on them. Watch if they have a continuation move or any, again, upgrades or anything like that for earnings. Watch UNH. I really like with them, especially with the Cigna earnings now too. I think that's going to be good. DraftKings, I think, is getting squeezed. Again, I still have all those positions. I'm biased. I made back like $10,000 of the loss, but we additionally added to that loss because the secondary position. So I'm pretty much back at down 18,000 again still. I still like it though. This is their first like 3-day run up in a while. I think they have the policy and some short pressure in their favor. So we'll see. Watch Baba. They dropped and again, they've had a pretty bad couple days. This is a lot of outflow in the volume, but it's interesting to see them not move a lot. I think a play could be set up on both sides. Might be a good strangle. So watch them. And then finally, GLD is important. TLT, I would watch, but you saw Powell today. He didn't really say much. I wouldn't be surprised to see. I don't think TLT will move anything beyond here because Powell said he's not going to change anything, and it's clear he's kept it in a range for a reason. So don't get too jumpy with that. I think that's going to be pretty much it. It's going to be an exciting Friday, but that is your watch list, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you're hydrated, healthy, ready to go. Make sure you post your watch list. Make sure we see you there in the morning. I need the armor on. I need the helmet shining. I need you to listen and don't get mad. The expectation isn't about other people. It's about you, baby. So keep it real. The code loves you. I love you. And we'll see you in the morning. Let's go.